3, 2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East and this is the Smart 7.
Well, good morning everybody. It's Tuesday the 16th of June and happy Bloomsday to our literary friends and a big happy birthday to Phil Mickelson, Joyce Carol Oates and Tupac, wherever you are.
7.
There are now over 8 million cases of COVID-19 reported worldwide, and new medical research shows that the virus can cause serious damage to the lungs, leaving them almost unrecognisable. Sir John Bell was speaking to the Lords Committee on Science and Technology, and he warned that a second wave is a real possibility. As shops reopened across the UK yesterday, there wasn't much sign of social distancing, but things do seem to be returning to normal. We also heard yesterday that while the nation's PE coach Joe Wicks needs a rest after 13 weeks, school kids haven't exactly been busy with new studies, estimating that up to 2 million students haven't done much work at home at all. Meanwhile, at the Downing Street briefing, journalists challenged Dominic Raab over the disappearance of scientists from the briefing.
Do you not think it would be more reassuring to have a medic and a science at these daily briefings, which are still watched by millions of people, and there are some questions that you can't answer because you have to refer to the medics?
We haven't tried me on a question that I can't answer yet, but I'm happy to be proved wrong. But look, Jen, you're right to say that the scientists and the medical advisors are important. They'll continue to attend these press conferences, perhaps not on a daily basis. They've got a huge amount of other work to do. And ultimately, the politicians need to answer the judgment calls that we make based on the evolving science.
Across the weekend, the right-wing protests in the UK and outrage over the photo of a man urinating beside a memorial to PC Keith Palmer led to condemnation in the House of Commons by Priti Patel.
This hooliganism is utterly indefensible. There can be no excuse for pelting police officers with missiles. And of all the dreadful images to emerge from this weekend, the one of a man desecrating the plaque of PC Keith Palmer was the most abhorrent. PC Keith Palmer served our country in so many ways, having first served in our armed forces. He then came to this place and made the ultimate sacrifice during a terror attack at the heart of our democracy.
The man who did the urinating was sentenced to 14 days in prison yesterday. His defence? Well, he'd had 16 pints, no sleep, and went to London to defend the statues. But he didn't know which ones. Yeah. In the United States, it was a big day for equal rights as the Supreme Court upheld workplace protection for LGBTQ workers, meaning you can no longer be fired for your sexual orientation. Meanwhile, President Trump explained that the reason America has so many cases of coronavirus is the testing.
As I said this morning, that's probably the downside of having good testing, is you find a lot of cases that other countries who don't even test don't have. If you don't test, you don't have any cases. If we stop testing right now, we'd have very few cases, if any.
4.
As Hollywood has been shut down by coronavirus, the 93rd Oscars will be delayed for only the 4th time in their history until at least the 25th of April. In the meantime, Kevin Bacon appeared on Jimmy Fallon with some words of wisdom.
The protests and what's going on is for an old guy like me, I was born in 1958, and to witness the passion of the young people across the world for social justice it leaves me speechless, which is probably a good idea because I think it's a good time for old white guys like me to just shut up and listen. So speechless is probably a good choice.
3.
Marcus Rashford, the Man United striker, has been doing a huge amount of charity work focused on disadvantaged children and families who are struggling during lockdown. He wrote to Boris Johnson to ask that the school food vouchers scheme for kids be continued throughout the summer. So far, Boris has said no, but Marcus appeared on BBC Breakfast to explain why he's so passionate.
It obviously has a huge importance for me, probably on a personal level, because what families are going through now, I once had to go through that same system, and it's very difficult to find a way out. But now that I'm in this position that I'm in, it's very important for me to help the people that are struggling, and that was the main reason why the letter was written. And whether the outcome is that it doesn't change or it does change, I know that I've done the right thing in trying to help these people. So.
One of our unlikely entertainment heroes in lockdown has been Josh Gad, or Olaf the Snowman from Frozen, as he reunites the cast of 80s movies for his YouTube channel. This week he managed to round up most of the original Ghostbusters, and it's a great watch, and really cool to see Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ivan Reitman and Sigourney Weaver reminiscing on Zoom. Here, they discuss Bill Murray's improvisation.
Bill, tell me about the piano scene. Did you come up with "They Hate This" on the spot?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
I remember how that happened.
Tell me.
You got it, Sue?
Because we'd done a few takes, and suddenly Ivan went, "Oh, come on, Bill, do something."
Enough with this shit. Go!
And then he did that, and of course, we were just shaking with laughter for the rest of the day.
Well, that's the problem when people want to shoot in the morning. Am I right, people? Is this right? People want to shoot before noon?
Even though the shops are open and the world is returning to work, Gary Barlow still lurks in his basement doing Zoom calls with his musical buddies for the Crooner sessions. Today, we bring you the frankly implausible Gary Barlow and Michael Ball covering S Club 7, You Are Welcome.
I've got you when you got me, so reach for the stars. Climb every mountain higher, reach for the stars. Follow your heart's desire, reach for the stars. And when that rainbow's shining over you, that's when your dreams will all come true.
This has been the Smart 7. We've got an Alexa skill now. All you've got to do is enable us and then just say, Alexa, play the Smart 7. We're back tomorrow at 7. Please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I'm Justin.
And I'm Lucy.
And together we are the hosts of Plenty Questions.
It's a very straightforward general knowledge quiz.
We ask you 20 questions, one after the other, 5-second gap in between, and you shout the answers out.
And then you tweet us to let us know how you've got on.
See if you can get 20 out of 20. No one has so far, but that's because we haven't started doing it yet.
But we will. And there's also going to be some fiendish brain teasers, so join us for Plenty Questions.